All right, guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about who is next for Valentina Shevchenko, the women's flyweight champion. I believe it has been announced. I think it got announced a few days ago or maybe like a week ago that she is fighting Manon Fiorot. I could be mistaken there, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. I think that that's an awesome fight. I think that's the fight that makes the most sense. I think they were trying to build up Erin Blanchfield to do it, but Manon beat her in their main event. And then I think they were maybe trying to see if Rose Namajunas could do it because a little bit more name value there, and that would have been a fun fight. Former strawweight champion Rose Namajunas versus current flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko, but she lost to Erin Blanchfield, so that makes the UFC's life difficult but easy. That makes the contender clear. It should be Manon. I think it's going to be Manon. Pretty sure they said it will be. And I think it's a really fun stylistic matchup because you're getting somebody in Valentina who's extremely well-rounded. She's a great striker, but her strength is the wrestling. And then you have somebody in Manon Fiorot who does not have offensive wrestling. That's not part of her game, but she's got elite takedown defense. She's an elite striker, elite kickboxer, and she's very similar to Cyril Gane in that she moves very well, very similar style, very similar kickboxing. And I think the movement, the striking of Manon, the power, I think those might kind of give Shevchenko a challenge. I think that on the feet, Shevchenko's a little bit plotty, a little bit flat-footed sometimes. And while I think she will be able to compete with Manon, I think Manon is going to really stand out on the feet, and I think she's going to be the one winning the minutes and the moments. But Shevchenko has elite grappling, and that's exactly how she beat Alexa Grasso in their third fight last time out at Noche UFC. And while Erin Blanchfield really struggled to take down Manon, I think the difference here is that Valentina is actually a good striker too. Blanchfield's working on the striking. She's getting much better in the striking, but she's not quite there yet. She was not even close to competitive with Manon on the feet. But Valentina, I think, will be competitive on the feet. And I talk about this all the time in all my videos that a wrestler who doesn't have great striking isn't going to have as much success grappling as a wrestler who maybe isn't even as good of a wrestler, but can also strike because then they can mix it up and their opponent doesn't know what's coming. Because if you don't have any striking, your opponent knows all they have to look out for are the takedowns. But if you can do both, they never know what's coming next. Marab is an amazing example of a guy who weaponizes his takedowns, the threat of his takedowns, and is able to strike better because of that. And I think Valentina will be able to wrestle a little bit better than somebody like Blanchfield against Manon because she can actually strike with her. And it's not like if they're stuck on the feet, Valentina's done for and there's no way she's winning. I think Valentina could win a stand-up match against Manon. I don't think she will. I think more likely than not, if they're only standing, it's a Manon fight and a fight that Manon will win and probably pretty comfortably, but I don't think it'll be a blowout. And I think Shevchenko, there is a possibility that I'm wrong and that Shevchenko can strike with her too, but it's MMA. Shevchenko will wrestle, and it's going to be interesting to see if she can get her down. If she can get her down, I think she'll hold her down. I think the harder part will be actually taking Manon down. She's a kickboxer, so you think it's pretty easy to get her down, but her takedown defense is really good. And with the movement, it's very hard to get her and actually take her down. So I think it's a really fun fight. I don't know what they're going to line it, and my bet will probably be pretty dependent on that. If Manon is a big underdog, I'll bet Manon because I think she's the better striker. If Valentina is a big underdog, I'll bet Valentina because she's an amazing grappler, and she certainly has a path by mixing in that striking like I was talking about with the grappling, taking down Manon, controlling her, maybe getting a sub. I don't think so. I think it'll probably just be a decision, but I think it'll be a fun, competitive fight. Now, if it's not Manon and I'm wrong, then I don't really know who you give her next because she literally just beat Grasso, and I don't think they want to do a fourth one, especially because Grasso didn't look great in that fight. Blanchfield did just beat Rose, but she also lost to Manon, so it doesn't really make sense to put her before Manon Fiorot. And then there's Barber. I don't think so. Natalia Silva, her, I think, would have made sense, honestly. If like they didn't want to do anyone else, they could have done Natalia Silva. But I guess there's no strong argument why it should be Natalia Silva over Manon Fiorot when Manon probably has the better wins. Manon's looks very dominant, and she's ranked number 2. So even though I think Natalia Silva's probably next, whoever wins that fight, I mean, if Manon wins, they probably give Valentina yet another rematch. But it depends how dominantly, right? Because they're not giving Grasso a rematch because Valentina beat her pretty dominantly, even though Grasso beat her twice before that. They're probably going to make her get another win. So Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I would like, if Valentina does beat Manon and they don't do a rematch, then I would really like to see Natalia Silva challenge after that, because she's elite and she's a really good counter grappler too, and she's an amazing striker. So that would be a sick matchup. And honestly, also Natalia Silva versus Manon Fiorot would be a really sick matchup too. But I think we're getting Manon Fiorot versus Valentina Shevchenko next, and it should be a really good fight. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time.